found a lot of the opening statements today quite interesting, but there are also some claims as well that I think are important to clear up. But before I go there, Mr. McElmurray, at an investors meeting held earlier this year, you stated that Puerto Rico's energy future will be, quote, powered by natural gas, supplemented by solar and batteries. But that statement in and of itself is in direct opposition to standing Puerto Rican law, which has policy to phase out fossil fuels and reach 100% generation from renewables by 2050. Why would Genera tell its investors something that is so in contradiction with Puerto Rican standing law?
Well, first, Congresswoman, thank you very much for your question. Genera's mandate is very clear. You know, we operate on an operation and maintenance agreement that has very prescribed responsibilities. The public policy and the rules, whether it be the IRP or other legislation in Puerto Rico, is crystal clear about what the future will be. Mm-hmm. From our perspective in Genera, one of our mandates is to reduce the cost of electricity. Today, with respect to the fleet that we operate, 50% of the electricity is generated by oil and 50% by gas. Of the dollars that it takes for us to operate the system.
I apologize. I just have very limited time. Are you getting to a point where basically, are you getting to trying to, I think, drive at reducing costs as your rationale here?
Thank you for your question. What I was attempting to point out is, from Genera's perspective, to reduce costs to ratepayers, we believe that we would like to see the oil go to zero. And for controllable resources, we believe that those should be run on gas or, quite frankly, hydrogen in the future, so the infrastructure be there.
And would that be blue hydrogen or green hydrogen?
I think what you would love to see is green hydrogen, to the extent that possibly the renewables may be available to produce it.
I'd like to reclaim my time. Apologies, I just have very limited allocation here. I would like to make sure that we clarify something for the record. One of the things that we heard in our opening statements is this claim that solar panels are, quote unquote, highly ineffective against severe weather. I would like to submit to the congressional record reporting from the Washington Post that actually outlines that against severe weather, solar panels are actually, in fact, do well in storms. And in fact, they outperform the existing T&D system associated with Puerto Rico's fossil fuel grid. Thank you very much. I think it's also important to note here that we have an existing contract with LUMA and Puerto Rico. As we move on here, Mr. Saca, LUMA's contract began in 2020, is that correct? Negotiations began in 2020?
LUMA started operations in June of 2021.
2021. Negotiations started in 2020 and it was signed in 2021? That was under then Governor Rosselló?
I believe so, yes.
The contract was extended in 2022?
What's happened is that one of the important items which hurts Puerto Rico in a major way today, and especially the consumer, is that PREPA is still not out of bankruptcy. So it was agreed that the contract would not officially start until PREPA exits bankruptcy, which was scheduled to have happened by today. So there is a temporary contract of what, I don't know the exact details of how that was done because I was not there yet, but the contract actually begins when PREPA exits bankruptcy.
And that, to your estimation, is that an indefinite period at this point?
My understanding is that it will be at least one more year before that happens. And one of the things this committee really needs to understand, and for all of us to be on the same page, as the system requires more investment, PREPA is limited in going out to get financing so the customer's bill will not go up. Because a lot of the investment that should be taking place right now on the operation side, let's leave on the side FEMA funding. The utility is not able to do it because it has not exited bankruptcy, and that has a huge impact on our ability to execute and on our ability to go out and get financing so that the ratepayers' money is not
I
impacted.
apologize, just as a detailed clarification. So your assertion here is that the LUMA contract has not functionally began because PREPA has not yet exited bankruptcy?
It is one of the requirements in this temporary contract that the actual agreement does not begin until they exit bankruptcy. That is correct.
Okay, I yield back to the chair.